Kim Tae-young leaned back in his leather chair, the low hum of the city's chaos drifting through the open window. His eyes, sharp and calculating, were fixed on the figure at the doorway. Lee YN, always YN, standing straight, silent, alert, hands folded, eyes scanning but never at him, at least not for him in a way that mattered. He smiled. Most people would crumble under his gaze, fell into his word like water into drain. Most people were idiots, but not her. She didn't even look, didn't flinch, didn't react. That made her more dangerous and more intoxicating than the rest combined. Why so quiet today? He murmured, almost playfully. No answer, just the faint tap of her boots against the floor as she shifted her weight. The young smile widened, dangerous, frustrating, irresistible. He rose, pacing towards her slowly, each step deliberate. You know, you could at least say something. One word, just one, not much to ask. Still nothing. Her silence was not ignorant. He knew that. He knew exactly what she was thinking. She was calculating, watching, weighing. And yet she spoke to no one, not even to him. A growl of irritation swept from him. He leaned closer, closer enough that the scent of her, faint, clean, yet dangerously human, hit him like a punch. Do you enjoy this? Keeping me waiting, watching me lose my mind over a glance? Her eyes flicked to him once, just once, and then back to Hall, as if he was nothing more than a shadow passing through her line of sight. The effect was instantaneous hunger, frustration, need. The young chest tightened. No one had ever ignored him like this. No one had ever held such a power over him without a word. He dropped onto the arm of chair, leaning back, pretending to be casual. You are going to talk soon. I'll make sure of it. And he would. Every move he made from now on, every command, every glance, every touch was a calculated mission. Not to conquer the city, not to control the underworld, but to make YN speak. Because for the first time in his life, power was not about fear. It was about her attention, and he would destroy anything to get it. The young finger drummed against the mahogany desk, hard, sharp, furious. The secretary's interruption was not just inconvenient, it was personal affront. The world could wait. The underworld could wait, but she, his YN, she couldn't wait because she was here and she was silent and she was everything he wanted. But he could never touch. He glanced at the secretary again, and the sight of her outfit made his stomach twist. Bare skin, flaunted as if it were a currency. God, he hated this. Hated women who thought his attention was worth trading their self-respect for money, power, status. It means nothing if you threw yourself away. And yet, this woman, this silent, armored, untouchable woman in the doorway, she didn't just resist, she existed on another plane. She had her dignity, her self-respect, her own rules, and that made him insane. Get out, he said, voice low, cold. The secretary's eyes widened, but she obeyed, her brain curling into a practiced, almost seductive bow. The young looked away. He hated what that bow did to him. A sudden, foolish human response he could not control. But then, YN, she had not moved, had not blinked. Her gloved hands rested at her side, boots planted, eyes sharp and alert, mask capped, every inch of her body armored against him. And yet, just like that, with nothing but her presence, she made him feel stripped, vulnerable, exposed. He realized he had never wanted a woman like this before. Women had wanted him, begged him, fallen at his feet like little moths to flame. And he had despised them for it, but her. She was a fortress, a blade, a breath he could not take enough of. Her restraint, her complete refusal to let herself be consumed. It consumed him instead. The young stood abruptly, boots echoing against the floor. I am coming, he muttered to no one, and YN, she stayed silent, watching, waiting. God, he thought, she knows what she does to him, and she doesn't care. The thought alone made his blood boil and his pulse race. He didn't care about meetings, about enemies, about anything in the world right now. There was only her, only YN, and he would move heaven and hell to force her to speak even once, even a single word, even a taunt, even an insult. He needed that, needed her acknowledgement, and she would give it. He promised himself that. Sitting in his bedroom, he was going crazy. Kim Tae-young didn't lose control. He conquered cities, crushed syndicates, erased bloodlines. Yet this woman, this single silent bodyguard, reduced him to a man chasing something he couldn't command. It made him angry, not at her, at himself. Because he wanted her attention and he was not getting it. His phone was on bedside drawer. He glared at it, almost ready to smash it on wall. He looked at the caller ID. His right-hand man, Jack, was calling him. Park. He spat angrily the moment he picked up the call. For a moment, silence fell on the other side of line. Then the man spoke fearfully. Boss, we have a mission with rival mafias. He stalled for a moment, then heaved a deep sigh. Prepare everything. We are going for it. His men lined up, engine roared, guns loaded. As he crossed the gate, something shifted inside him. For the first time in his life, Kim Taehyung wanted something small. Pathetic, even one word, one sentence from her, just once. She spoke finally. He didn't expect it. Take care, sir. This was it. No emotion, no softness, just duty, and it ruined him. He turned so fast, his man stiffened, thinking something was wrong. His eyes locked on hers, deep coral brown, steady, watching him like she always did. I will take care, he said. The words left him before he could stop them. Not a promise to himself, a promise to her, a promise to come back. When his car stopped outside the gate, engines cut instantly. No one dared question it. Order had been cleared. Silence. They knew. Everyone in the mansion knew the reason of it. The way he always stopped outside the gate at night, cutting the engine. The silence was for someone's precious slave heart. It was always Vian Lee, his first and top priority. Inside one worker's apartment, a woman exhaled for the first time in hours. Vian had not slept. She never did when he went on missions. Never had. Never would. He thought he protected her by leaving her behind. He was wrong. Her protection followed him like shadows, silent, invisible, lethal. He watched from places he never looked, guarded paths he never noticed. And when he came home wounded, alive, breathing, only then did she allow herself relief. The moment he reached the front door, she was behind him instantly. Sir, let me bandage your wound. He flinched. For someone who feared nothing, her voice startled him more than bullets. He closed his eyes, cursing under his breath. He snapped, turning. Are you a ghost? When did you come? Were not you sleeping? Questions tumbled out, uncontrolled, raw. I was awake, she sat, doing work. His eyes flicked briefly to his soaking clothes. When I saw your car, I saw you were injured. I thought to bandage your wound. A pause. That's my duty, she added, to take care of my boss. Duty. That word again. He stared at her, this woman who guarded him without asking, watched him without touching, cared without demanding, and for the first time Kim Taehyung realized something terrifying. He didn't want her duty, he wanted her choice, and that was far more dangerous than any battlefield. He sat on couch, allowing her to work in silence. She bent in front of him, close enough that he could feel the faint shift of her breath, the careful movement of her hands as she cleaned and wrapped his wound. His gaze followed her automatically, habit, instinct, until it stopped, froze. was heavy, alive, and Kim Tae-young understood something irreversible. She was not just protecting him, she had chosen him, and that terrified him more than any enemy ever could. Get out. Get out right now before I do something I might never regret. Out. He knew, even if he forbade her from animation, even now, she wouldn't obey, not fully. She never did. She had her own rules. And he knew them all. The door closed behind her and he froze, not from anger, not from frustration, not rage, relief, joy, peace. Something so unexpected, so foreign, it almost made him dizzy. He had spent decades in shadows, ruling an empire with iron and fear, never letting expression slip, never letting feelings out, and now he realized he had needed her recognition, needed her choice, needed the knowledge that she risked herself for him, not because he demanded it, not because he ordered it, but because he mattered to her. First time after his mafia position, Kim Tae-young felt like a boy again. A stupid, giddy, infuriated boy whose crush had just smiled at him. A squeal, high, sharp, uncontainable, escaped him before he could stop. He felt happiness like never before. Behind the closed door, she froze, lips twitching, weird mafia. She muttered under her breath, then turned, disappearing into her apartment with silent, unyielding steps. And he was chaos made human. He danced around the living room, feet shuffling, arms flailing, laughter spilling unchecked. Shook with joy, shook with the knowledge that she had followed him, had cared, had made him, the priority in her world. Nothing in his life, the power, the empire had ever made him feel this alive, and for the first time he understood the meaning of obsession. Because she didn't just guard him, she chose him. He spun in joy like a toddler set loose in candy store. Morning came like nothing had happened. Vian stood at her post, exactly where she always stood, inside his office door. Straight spine, mask on, cap low, uniform flawless, silent, but Kim Tae-young, he was unbearable. The door swung open and he walked in with an energy that didn't belong to Mafia God. It belonged to a man who had discovered joy and now intended to weaponize it. Mischief dripping every feature of him, eyes sparkling with joy. Good morning, Miss Lee, he said brightly, lifting his hand in a casual high-fi. She didn't move, she didn't blink. Internally, she considered violence. Outwardly, she remained stone. He grinned. God, he grinned. Well, he continued, tossing his coat aside. I was thinking of throwing a party. Silence fell. Last night's mission was entertaining, barely survived, won at the last second, very cinematic, and someone very special saved my life. He leaned against his chair, she clenched her jaw, so he went on, enjoying himself far too much. It deserves a celebration, don't you think? You're my loyal bodyguard, he added innocently. You can suggest things like venue, menu, guest list, my outfit. She finally looked at him. The look said, is this man real? Sir, she said flatly, it's your party. You may do whatever you want. Oh, it's not just my party, she stiffened. He smiled wider. It is also going to be my engagement party. The word hit like a bullet. Engagement. Her breath stalled. Something sharp twisted in her chest before she could stop it. He saw it immediately, the flicker, the darkening of her eyes. He leaned forward, voice deceptively calm. My fiancé is arriving from Russia after 7 years today. A pause. So it is a welcome party, an engagement party, and a victory celebration. Her face drained of color, her jaw tightened so hard it looked painful, and Kim Tae-young, traitor that he was, enjoyed it. When she lifted her gaze again, he froze. Her eyes were darker than he had ever seen them. Not anger, not jealousy, possession. I will find city's best planner, a wedding planner. I'll handle it, she said calmly. He swallowed. He replied, forcing steadiness. Exactly, you should. She turned to leave. Oh, and Miss Lee, you don't have to wear the uniform all the time. Try something different today. It will suit you. She stopped. This is my duty self, she said coldly. I dress according to duty. Beneath the calm was rage, controlled, compressed, terrifying. Stood, walked past her. The door clicked, locked. Why did you lock the door, sir? She turned, confusion flashing briefly. I want privacy, he said, then softly, privacy with my angry Miss Lee, her eyes sharpened. And my future Mrs. Kim, that did it, sir, she snapped. Do you hear yourself? He stepped closer, too close. I hear every word, he said quietly, and you hear them too. You are angry and you know why. Dragged her against glass wall, she didn't resist. I'm done pretending, he continued. You are done pretending. His hand reached up, flicked her cap away, then her mask. It was only the fourth time in 6 months, and it destroyed him. He stared, no arrogance, no teasing, no words. She was not just beautiful. She was devastating, sharp lines softened by restraint, eyes still burning, lips pressed tight like they carried every word she had never spoken. God did have favorites, and Kim Taehyung was staring at one for the first time since morning. He was silent. What do you think you are doing? She spat. He smiled, not soft, not amused, the kind of smile that means a line had been already crossed and he didn't intend it to step back.